started, I might have to ask Miss Garcia to help me out. As you know, when you're translating, your brain sometimes slows down a little bit. Even though being bilingual is so important, sometimes with a translation, with any translation, you have to take breaks because the brain needs that little break. In case you haven't noticed, when people are signing, they have to switch off. I believe it's like every 20 minutes because of how taxing it is on the brain. So please bear with me. So vamos a traducir y voy a pedirle a Miss García que me ayude porque a veces es bastante cansado cuando tenemos intérpretes. Te tiene que cambiar el intérprete cada 20 minutos para darle tiempo al cerebro de que se acomode. Okay, so we will get started. Let me put my screen up and can you see my screen, Ms. Uris? Yeah, oh, I see all these thumbs up and I'm at the end of our meeting.
Thank you all for coming. Appreciate
you being here.
Have a good day.
So welcome to our coffee with me. I hope you, like I said, if you have your coffee with you, espero que tenga su cafecito. I have my water bottle now ready because I've already had my coffee. Ya tengo mi agua porque ya tomé mi cafecito tempranito.
We need to change it to coffee con panecito.
I know, right? And just to let you know that we will be recording this meeting so that parents who could not join us will be able to review the slides at their own time. So para informarle a todos de que vamos a grabar esta junta para que los padres que no pueden acompañarnos puedan revisar después. And Ms. Montañez, are we recording already?
We're ready.
Okay, fantastic. So Ms. Montañez is my social media director and she is making sure that we are being recorded. Thank you. Okay, so.
Only because the parents really asked for it, so.
I know, thank you. And these are our Zoom norms. I know most of us are used to the norms, but just a quick reminder, I think one of the most important ones is to mute yourself if you are not talking. Las normas de Zoom, yo creo que la mayoría ya estamos muy, sabemos las normas mucho, pero es muy importante de que él apague su micrófono si no está hablando. Es una de las normas más importantes que a veces hasta a mí se me olvida. All right. This is our agenda, but you know, my goal is always to really listen to you and hear your concerns or questions that you may have. So eso es nuestra agenda, pero mi objetivo es escuchar a ustedes cualquier pregunta que puedan tener. All right, so we always begin our meetings with our Restorative Justice Collective Circle. Siempre empezamos nuestra junta con la justicia restaurativa, just to ground us in what we're doing today. So Ms. Garcia, go ahead.
Yes, good morning, everyone. As Ms. Linares was saying, we are going to begin with an restorative justice activity. When we engage in these types of activity, we're often sharing experiences, thoughts, ideas, and therefore we follow specific agreements. And these are, we speak from the heart. That means we are honest with our words. We listen from the heart. We speak with respect. We say just enough to respect everyone's time. We honor privacy and stories. We mute or unmute ourselves, depending on whether or not we're speaking. And at the end, right now, please, if you need to leave early, then you need to type that in the chat so that we know that you are in need to leave. Siempre que nosotros practicamos actividades de justicia restaurativa, es importante que sigamos estos acuerdos, ya que durante esas sesiones muchas veces tenemos que compartir opiniones, ideas, pensamientos, entonces tenemos que hacerlo todo de acuerdo a lo siguiente. Hablamos desde el corazón, escuchamos desde el corazón, hablamos con respeto y decimos lo suficiente para respetar el tiempo de todos, honramos la privacidad e historias de las personas y apagamos o encendemos nuestro micrófono dependiendo si necesitamos hablar. Y si ustedes necesitan retirarse, por favor, indíquenlo en la casilla de chat. If you agree with all of the agreements listed here, please type that in the chat. Si están de acuerdo, por favor, escriban sí en la chat. Okay, we are ready, Ms. Linares, for the next slide, please. Okay, so today we are going to begin by taking a moment to breathe. It really helps us stay focused throughout the day and it gives us peace of mind. Vamos a tomar un momento para respirar un ratito, ya que nuestras vidas están llenas de muchas situaciones, muchas cosas que constantemente nos pueden alterar. Entonces vamos a tomar un tiempecito para respirar. Este es un ejercicio de respiración y nos vamos a enfocar ya sea en los peces que ustedes ven o van a cerrar sus ojos y respirar profundamente. We can begin, Ms. Linares. Thank you.
Or watch the fish swimming. As you take a breath in, use mindfulness to notice your thoughts and feelings and any tensions in your body. Exhale the breath slowly and let your thoughts come and go without trying to control them. Notice each breath in and as the lungs expand and contract. Continue to let the thoughts come and go while focusing on your breathing. Notice any tensions in your body and breathe into that area. Slowly open your eyes. Gently bring your presence back to your surroundings.
So that was a quick breathing activity. Once again, I hope that this exercise helped you stay grounded and feel peaceful. Espero que el ejercicio que acabamos de hacer los hizo sentir tranquilos y enfocados. So now we're moving on to our next activity so that we get to know each other a little more. We're going to respond to the following question. What is your favorite holiday and why? If you celebrate any of these, and if you don't, then you can share that with us as well, of course. ¿Cuál es su día festivo favorito y por qué? Esta pregunta es para conocernos un poquito más a fondo. Y si ustedes no celebran ninguno de estos días festivos, también pueden compartir eso. And today we're going to actually share it in the chat. You're going to type in what your favorite holiday is and why. Or you can also raise your hand and then you can just share out. So let's just take a few minutes to respond to that question. What is your favorite holiday and why?
Did you say it in Spanish?
Perdón, sí, no lo dije. Vamos a responder cuál es su día festivo favorito y por qué. Puede ser de que ustedes no celebren ninguno de estos días, también pueden compartir eso. Estamos respondiendo este tipo de pregunta para conocernos más a fondo, así que tomen el tiempo de escribir en la chat cuál es su día favorito festivo y por qué. So I see that for Miss Uris, it's Thanksgiving. That's awesome, Miss Uris. And it's all about food and the people you love. Miss Montañez. Yes.
Yes, I put down that I just love Christmas and las posadas, having family over, eating lots of tamales de raja con queso, the smells of Christmas, being on vacation with my kids, and it's baby Jesus' birthday.
Yay. Yulisa, would you like to share out or I can read your response?
You can read it for me. Thank you.
Okay, so Yulisa says that Christmas is her favorite. Just seeing the smile of her daughters opening their gifts melts her heart, and spending time with her family. Thank you for sharing. Miss Linares, her
Yeah, I think yours and I are in the same page. The food for Thanksgiving. I'm already like thinking about the turkey and the gravy, just looking forward to it. So Thanksgiving is one of my favorites just because it's just a special dinner and I look forward to all that food.
Thank you for sharing. Gloria says, la señora Gloria nos dice que Navidad porque se junta toda la familia. Mucha alegría da eso, claro que sí. Edith dice que el Año Nuevo es uno de sus favoritos. Zane, the Day of the Dead. Oh, that's beautiful. It's about my lineage and ancestors on this day. Exactly. La señora Stephanie, this is my favorite time of the year. We are able to gather and spend so much quality time with family and friends and all the yummy food we can eat. And is that Thanksgiving or Christmas?
It's like from now until the end of the year. We like absolutely love, like when September hits, because September is my birthday, I officially say it's the holiday season. It's Halloween, we go big, like this entire time we just really enjoy it with family and friends.
It is an awesome time, the fall, huh?
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
And just to give you guys a heads up, Miss Linares' birthday is on Friday. And she feels the same way too. It's just
I was gonna say my birthday is very important, but I was like, no. Thanksgiving too.
Nedra dice que la Navidad es el favorito de ella porque es tiempo con su familia y por la comida. And Stephanie says that her favorite holiday is Halloween. She likes to watch scary movies on the cold weather and lay down in bed, cuddling with her blankets. And I'm with you right there, Stephanie. That's my favorite holiday, Halloween. I really enjoy the same thing. I love scary movies. I love to get scared. I really enjoy that. I love wearing costumes and seeing everybody be so creative. I think it's an opportunity for everyone to be creative and original. And that's why I love Halloween. It is my favorite. And of course, the other holidays, because we get together with family. And just like many of you mentioned, I love food and I love being with my family. So thank you everyone for sharing. Did I skip anyone? I hope I didn't. Once again, thank you. And we will continue with our next announcements.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Garcia. Gracias a Ms. Garcia. Now that we have grounded ourselves, we have a few announcements. Ahora vamos a hacer algunos anuncios. We've been posting this. These are just important dates that are happening in October. So we have posted it, but if you want to take a picture of it right now, you may. Esto lo ponemos todos los meses, son fechas importantes del mes de cada mes. So this October is very important, right? It's a long month. And these are some of the important dates of things that are happening in October. Son algunas fechas importantes. Le puede tomar una foto y lo hemos también puesto en Facebook. It's on our website, right, Ms. Ures? So we try to publicize this everywhere for your convenience. So esto es para su conveniencia.
And we also give it to the teachers on Fridays so that they can post it in whatever correspondence they have.
Right, thank you. También los maestros lo ponen en su correspondencia que usan. Krispy Kreme, we are raising funds for our school. Thank you to the POP For doing this, Miss Montañez supports the POP in our fundraising efforts. So esto es para recaudar fondos para la escuela, que es patrocinado por nuestro grupo de padres, el POP, y Miss Montañez asiste a este grupo. So Miss Montañez, you want to tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, just really quickly to let you all know that today is the last day to turn in any orders for Krispy Kreme. We are not allowed to accept cash at school anymore. So I know it's a little bit of a transition for parents to get used to paying electronically, but that's the only way that our school is allowed to be approved to have fundraisers through this electronic payment. If you turn it in today, all of the boxes will be handed out on Friday. Nada más para dejarles saber que es el último día para entregar sus órdenes de donas. Lo van a recibir el viernes, las cajas que ordenaron. Y yo sé que es un poquito batalloso, pero el distrito no nos deja aceptar efectivo. Entonces, por eso tienen que hacer todos los pagos electrónicamente. Muchas gracias.
Okay, and also Miss Montañez, tell us about open enrollment.
Open enrollment. So if you're a 5th grade parent, I want you to, we had a meeting last week, but we want to make sure that you know that it's the time now to start thinking about middle schools for next year. If you start thinking about middle schools in April, May, and June, you are too late. You must think about it now because the window for open enrollment for Magnet is now until November the 12th. So parents who are in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 2nd grade, I always want you guys to remember that you apply to middle schools, not the last months of the year. You actually think about it in October, November. This is the open enrollment time for next year. Y para los padres del 5º grado, nada más para dejarles saber que tienen que aplicar para escuelas de Magnet ahorita en esta ventana que se acaba de abrir, cierra el 12 de noviembre. Siempre tengo padres aquí en los últimos meses del año llorando porque no aplicaron y no hay nada que yo puedo ayudarles para poder entrar a un middle school que desean. Tienen que aplicar antes del 12 de noviembre y estoy aquí a sus órdenes para ayudarles.
Okay, thank you for that. And we are a STEAM Magnet. We have a STEAM Magnet program, and every month our students engage in a challenge. So this is the water bottle challenge, and Ms. Montañez has been leading our teachers in these STEAM projects. So cada mes en nuestro centro de Magnet tenemos un reto. Y este mes hemos estado haciendo el reto de las botellas de agua. So Ms. Montañez, tell us a little bit more about that.
It's just us trying to take care of our planet and take care of our environment as well. So we are asking all students to come with refillable canteens. Every time they bring in a refillable canteen, we're counting it as 1 point, and we're trying to stay away from water bottles. Of course, if there's an emergency, we can help out, but we calculated that if every class brings a refillable canteen, then we are able to save 500,000 water bottles just at our school. So that's the teachers are counting it every Friday. They're giving me data and we're seeing if we can meet our goals. So we encourage you to buy refillable canteens.
I got mine.
I got mine too.
Too.
Old, but it still works. Go NASA. There's one.
Thank you. Did you say it in Spanish?
No, padres, nada más estamos sugiriendo que todos los padres tengan botellas en donde pueden poner agua todos los días en vez de usar las botellas plásticos. Calculamos que si todos los estudiantes traen canteens que pueden usar todos los días, podemos ahorrar 500,000 botellas de agua nada más en esta escuela. Entonces, cada día estamos calculando puntos para ver si los niños trajeron sus botellas reciclables.
All right, so it's a challenge, es un reto. Vamos a ver si podemos llegar a la meta. All right, and our 3rd and 4th grade students will be testing next week because we were virtual. It was very difficult to have our students be tested for gifted, but we will be able to do this year. So, la siguiente semana nuestros estudiantes de 3er y 4º grado van a tomar un examen para determinar si califica para superdotados, porque como estábamos en línea, no pudimos hacer los exámenes. Usualmente son los estudiantes de 2º grado que toman este examen. Usually it's 2nd graders who take this test. However, because we were online, it was very difficult. So now we're trying to catch up everybody that missed the test in 3rd and 4th grade. Do you want to tell them anything else, Ms. Montañez?
Yeah, we had a parent meeting yesterday and I recorded it and I also uploaded it for any parent who would like more information about it. Tuvimos una junta ayer sobre los detalles del el examen. Si quieren repasar la información, ya lo subí.
All right, thank you. And we, every year, every school has to update their integrated safe school plan. And this is a plan that incorporates what do we do in case of a given emergency. And then we are supposed to be practicing on continuously so that our students and staff know what to do in case of an emergency. So, cada escuela es requerido que tenga un plan escolar de seguridad integrado, que quiere decir que tenemos que tener un plan a cómo responder a emergencias para que todos los estudiantes y personal de plantel sepa qué hacer en caso de emergencia y tenemos que practicarlo. So, Ms. Garcia, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Linares. So as she was explaining, as Ms. Linares was explaining, we practice on a regular basis different types of emergencies. So what you see here are the most or the main emergencies that we practice: fire drill, earthquake drill, and a lockdown. Nosotros constantemente estamos practicando simulacros de emergencia de todo tipo, pero más específicamente nos enfocamos en simulacros de incendio, de terremoto, de cierre de emergencia. Cierre de emergencia es cuando alguien, por ejemplo, entra a la escuela que no está invitado y puede crear un sentido de amenaza, entonces tenemos que seguir ciertos protocolos. Es muy importante que ustedes sepan que cuando hay una emergencia como un terremoto, ustedes, claro, van a venir a traer a sus niños. Entonces, aquí lo que ustedes ven es los portones donde pueden venir a recoger a sus niños. Tenemos 2 portones, uno donde ustedes piden o solicitan a su niño, recibir a su niño, y en otro es donde ustedes lo traen. So, uno van a decir el nombre de su hijo o hija y en el otro portón se lo van a mandar. Así que como pueden ver aquí, los 2 lados, en el lado de Cortés tenemos donde hay para solicitar y para reunirse con sus hijos. En el lado de Edgeware también igual, el portón donde se van a solicitar es en lo que le llamamos el Garden Gate, que es donde ahorita los niños de primero y kindergarten salen. En ese portón es donde ustedes van a ir primero y van a solicitar que les entreguen a sus hijos y los van a recoger o reunirse con sus hijos en el otro portón, siempre en Edgeware, pero el que está más arriba. So we wanted to emphasize that in case of an emergency, such as an earthquake, when you come to pick up your child, you have to know to what gate you're going to go. So we have on the Cortés side, we have a request gate. So you're going to request for your child on one side of the Cortés gate, and then you will reunite with your child on the other side, but still within the Cortés gate. If you're coming from the Edgeworth, on Edgeworth Street, then we have two gates, one which we call the Garden Gate, and that's where kinder and first grade students are picked up after school every day. That's what we call the Garden Gate. And that's where you're going to request, and then you are going to reunite with your child at the other gate, still on Edgeworth. So it's important that parents know that you are not picking up your child, requesting and reuniting with your child in the same gate. There are two different gates that will be available. So again, that's very important for you to know, and that's why we're highlighting it. And that is all in terms of emergency drills. Thank you.
Just a quick reminder too, is that it is very important that anytime, whether it's a drill or not, that you bring identification when picking up your child. We need to make sure that whoever's picking up your child has permission to pick up. And if you are the parent, we totally understand, but we don't know every single parent, so we need to verify. So it's very important that you bring identification at any time that you need to pick up your child, early or during an emergency. So es muy importante recordar de que cada vez que venga a la oficina a recoger a su niño, ya sea que va a estar temprano o durante una emergencia, necesita traer identificación para asegurarnos de quién está recogiendo su niño. And I see Julissa, you raised your hand.
Hi, good morning. I have a question. I know it's something that it's gonna sound a little bit where parents are gonna get scared, but we live in a world where so many things happen nowadays that we have to prepare our little ones for it. So I wanted to know, God, I knock on wood, but if there was to be a shooting, right? What would be the protocols that you guys would teach the little ones, especially if they were to be outside their classroom, if they were to be in a specific area where there's nothing that they can hide from? What will be the protocols that you guys would teach them? Or if they were to be in a restroom, or if they were to be anywhere outside the classroom, what would be the protocols for that, for the little ones, in general? Because I know that they understand less, and we live in a world where sometimes we can say it's not going to happen to us, it's not going to happen in our community, it's not going to happen anywhere near us, but you have to be prepared for everything. And I know that you guys focus mainly on fire drills. I know that you guys focus on earthquake drills, but this is a question that is starting to come out a lot. So I wanted to know, what would you guys do in that case?
That's a very good question. Thank you. And then unfortunately, I'm getting notifications right now that Texas is going through something very similar right now as we speak. So we definitely have to review that. The district did provide, it's called active shooter training, that we only administrators went through. And that was, that is part of the school safe plan. And we definitely have to go back and review with teachers and students. So what we would do is we have to follow the school safe plan, which is getting to the nearest building where you can lock yourself in. And so that is part of what we discuss as far as, is it an active shooter or is it, what depends on what kind of emergency is out there, because we could do a lockdown if there was just shooting outside. Let's say there was police activity, then we would lock down the whole entire building. That means every student, we have to get them to the nearest building. And all the adults know that that is what we do. And then of course we have to start accounting for every child and then making phone calls to parents. No one can come into the school and no one can leave the school. That is usually what happens the most. If there were to be a shooter on campus, then it's similar, but we also have to pay attention to where did the shooting come from? Where do we think the shooter is at? And then we would try to evacuate. And we do have reunions outside of the school, one being the library on Temple. is our reunion once everyone's able to evacuate. So 2 different scenarios, and you're right, there's so many scenarios that have to be practiced, but I can assure you they're all in our Safe School Plan. So la pregunta es que se les enseña a los estudiantes, digamos, si hay desafortunadamente acción, digamos, balazos. Son 2 situaciones. Uno puede ser de que hay situación fuera de la escuela, que se escucha balazos o algo así. Tenemos que cerrar la escuela. Todos los estudiantes entran al edificio más cercano que estén. Digamos, si los niños están en el recreo y se escucha que hay acción afuera, los adultos saben que tienen que llevar a los estudiantes al lugar más cercano donde estén. Y luego empezamos a contar a todos los estudiantes y hacer la notificación de que todos quienes tal vez estaban en el baño o están en otro salón, y luego pues empezar a comunicarse con los padres. La escuela estaría cerrada y nadie puede entrar a la escuela y nadie puede salir de la escuela hasta que todos estén contados y todos han sido informados. Y pues la policía nos dice cuando estamos bien para abrir la puerta otra vez. Si hay, digamos, alguien dentro de la escuela de que, digamos, está armado y está balaceando, entonces es similar, se encierran, pero también tenemos que ver dónde es que vienen los tiros, dónde tal vez está la persona que está que estamos en peligro, y tenemos que tratar de ver si se puede evacuar, se evacuaría de la escuela, y luego tenemos una reunión en la biblioteca, es donde todos se tienen que reunir. And those are really great questions as a parent, because if we need to evacuate outside of the school, you would need to know that we would meet at the library on Temple. So very, very important for everyone to know. And you're right, our fire drills are every month. Los simulacros de incendios son cada mes. And then in October, the whole LA County does the shake drill. Y en octubre todo el condado está también practicando el para simulacro de terremotos. But you know, we don't really talk about the other drills, pero los otros simulacros no se habla mucho. So thank you for that. Any other questions? ¿Otra pregunta? Okay, let's move on. And we're here to answer any questions you may have. So feel free to raise your hand or turn on your mic. Estamos aquí para responder cualquier pregunta que tal vez tenga, y así que usted puede levantar su mano.
We do have a question, Ms. Linares, if
Yes.
the school has school police.
No, there is no school police. In case you missed it, the school board, who is driven by parents, voted on defunding police. So the police department has been defunded for 2 years now. So there is no school police. No hay policía de escuela, porque ¿cómo se dice board? Los miembros del, how do you say school board? No me recuerdo.
El concilio.
Los representantes de la educación, del concilio de educación, que son elegidos por los padres en los distritos, ellos votaron porque los padres insistieron de que hay que quitar dinero del departamento de policía, así que no tenemos policías. Antes habían policías en secundarias nada más. before there used to be police officers at secondary schools, but now that they have been defunded, their roles have changed. Ahora que ya no hay tanto dinero en ese departamento, el apoyo ha cambiado. I just met the police officer for our school, and he told me they are overwhelmed. There's only 5 officers for the whole entire district, so they don't have time to come and check on us unless we have a major incident. Yo hablé con el representante oficial de nuestra escuela y me dijo que solo hay como 5 oficiales para todo el distrito porque no hay, pues no pusieron dinero para el departamento. Y si no tenemos ninguna emergencia, pero emergencia de verdad, no vienen a nuestra escuela. It's unfortunate. Everybody has their own views, but we do not have. And again, elementary schools really don't qualify for having a school police on campus, but we used to have an officer that used to come almost every week. He made friends with our kids and really became part of our community. But now that they defunded that, we do not have that anymore. So aunque no teníamos un oficial aquí en la escuela, teníamos un oficial que venía, nos visitaba, hacía amigos con los niños y fue parte de la comunidad, pero ahora como no hay dinero para el departamento, no tenemos eso. Good question, though.
And I see Milagros has a question and Nedra as well.
Okay, so Milagros and Nedra.
Hi, good morning. Do you guys at least have security officers on site?
Again, that has never been a current event for elementary schools. And no, that has not existed. It was school police. And now that school police has been defunded, we do not have that support.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And Nedra?
Sí, buenos días. Mira,
Buenos días.
una pregunta o una sugerencia. ¿Podrían hacer una página, otro lugar más fácil como para poder pagar como las donas o las playeras? A mí me complica mucho con esas, pero ve que las fotos tienen una y se puede hacer con la tarjeta de crédito o débito. Es un poquito más fácil. Y he escuchado que muchos papás dicen lo mismo, que transferir el dinero con esas aplicaciones es un poquito complicado.
Sí, yo creo que ellos están trabajando para poder agarrar como una carta de crédito, pero como son parte del non-profits, entonces es un poquito complicado para ellos agarrar como un tipo de visa, pero yo creo que es algo que sí, ellos oyen también las quejas, que es un poquito frustrante, pero están trabajando en eso, señora.
Ok, sí, porque yo quería cargar las playeras, pero dije, así no, se me hace muy complicado.
Pero venga a la oficina, le podemos ayudar.
A hacer la transacción.
Sí, nosotros le podemos ayudar a hacer la transacción. Lo malo sí, desafortunadamente tiene que bajar la aplicación.
Ese es a veces el
tenemos.
complicado.
Pero los bancos, la mayoría de bancos ahora ofrecen Zelle y no tienen que
Ajá.
bajar la aplicación. Es más fácil.
Es más fácil con
Sí.
ok.
Ajá, eso le podemos ayudar si gusta. So the question was
Ok, está
about
bien.
making it easier to pay. What is it? It's electronic currency, right? So e-currency to pay for like our fundraisers. And the POP is working on it, but remember it's a parent group and it's nonprofit, so it's kind of hard for them to kind of get like a credit card reader and things like that. But we can help you in the office if you wish for us to kind of help you with Zelle, which I would suggest it's the easier way because it's through your bank.
Yeah. Even today, one parent doesn't have Venmo. And so I received the Zelle and then I forwarded it to them because I knew. So we can always help you. Just let us know. Si necesitan ayuda con
I
cualquier
didn't
cosa,
hear
yo les
that.
puedo ayudar.
I didn't hear that. Because I don't get involved with money. Yo no me meto en dinero. That's just my, that is my rule. But I am happy to help with getting through with the vendors. So estamos aquí para ayudarle, solo que yo y mi equipo no nos metemos en dinero. We do not. I saw two other hands that went up, but I'm not sure who.
There's Edith and Milagros. And then if you can speak to the fact that some schools have school police at their school. So those three. So Edith, Milagros, and then the school police question.
As far as schools having police officers, I cannot speak to it because I don't know anything about that. Si otras escuelas parece ser que tengan policías, no puedo hablar porque yo no tengo información de eso. Again, it's been secondary schools, high schools that they may be housing because they don't have housing. So they may be housing police officers there who get sent different places. But I don't have that information because we're in elementary school, so I don't have that much information. No tengo mucha información de oficiales en las escuelas porque nosotros somos elementarias y la elementaria nunca ha tenido oficiales en la escuela. A veces la escuela secundaria como high school tiene oficiales en su escuela porque usan sus salones como oficinas y de ahí mandan a los oficiales a las otras escuelas. I know Venice High School has always housed police officers.
Roy Ball.
Roy Ball houses as well. So that's all I know, but I can't speak to something I don't know. No puedo hablar más de eso porque no conozco mucho.
And then Zane's mom just said it's RFK Community Schools, but yeah.
Yes. And it's probably because of that. They're a secondary school, son escuela secundaria.
And then Milagros has her hand up. I'm not sure if you had another question, Milagros.
I do actually. Well, her father told me to tell you guys. I remember you guys used to send those white envelopes. I used to call them the monthly donations. Will you guys be doing that still?
It's not something that they have discussed yet with POP, but I know that they're trying to, they'll organize and then they'll let you guys know. I don't know the details about that just yet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have another hand up? ¿Algo otra mano o continuamos?
And Ms. Gonzalez, maybe if you want to stay back and ask Mrs. Linares more questions about that, so we can move on to the Halloween.
Fall costume tradition. I know that there were some questions about the fall costume parade, things like that. So we met with the COVID-19 task force and we definitely want to celebrate, but we also have to keep in mind that we are still in a pandemic. So we want to celebrate in a healthy, safe way. So there will be no parade, but we will encourage students to come dressed on Friday before Halloween if they wish to. It is not mandatory. It's only if you wish to celebrate. The instructional day will continue. So es una tradición de que se celebra en el otoño. No tendremos un desfile, pero sí los estudiantes, si gusta celebrar, pueden venir a la escuela vestidos, disfrazados. El día de instrucción va a continuar, so it will be a regular instructional day, only that we get to dress up, which is kind of fun, right? Who doesn't like, well, I like to dress up. Let me just speak like that. I like to dress up. A mí me gusta disfrazarme. I like to have fun. I'm an elementary teacher. That's who I am. Soy una maestra de escuela elementaria. Y pues me gusta disfrazar. We ask students, that has been an issue. Students are still sharing snacks. So that means they're exchanging candy. So we discourage the exchange of candy. Hemos estado teniendo dificultad con los estudiantes que están compartiendo comida en el recreo. So pedimos que pues que no estén cambiando dulces. You know, it's like you take the Snickers and I'll take the Twix. We're discouraging all of that for safety reasons. So estamos pidiendo por la seguridad de todos que no haya intercambio. And parents have been asking, can I send candy? Yes, you may, but please only individually sealed wrapped candy. again, safety precautions, very important that everything is sealed, that it comes prepackaged for all the students, and it will be distributed at the end of the day so that they can go home with you. And then you can monitor that. So pedimos, algunos padres quieren mandar algunos dulces para los estudiantes y pues queremos tener la oportunidad de celebrar, pero por favor que esté todo cerrado antes, pues que lo compra ya todo cerrado y los maestros lo van a pasar al final del día para que luego se vayan con usted y usted pueda monitorear cuánto dulce puede comer su niño. Okay, so we're going to go around, we're going to take pictures of all the costumes and we will put a slideshow together for everybody to view on Monday as a culmination of the celebration of this tradition. So vamos a tomar fotos de todos los estudiantes que vengan disfrazados, luego lo vamos a poner en un desfile electrónico para que todos lo puedan ver el siguiente lunes. Okay.
And then some of our fifth grade classes want to do a little storyline with the different costumes. Usually fifth graders do something special because it's their last costume in school. And so all the teachers are kind of organizing a little storyline so they can act it out or do a dance to share with the parents as well.
Yes, thank you for that.
And it
Okay.
looks like somebody was asking about face makeup. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that yes, they may, but they have to keep their masks on at all times. So they have
That's a very good point. Yes, thank you. So las máscaras tienen que siempre tener su tapaboca. So es muy importante que si trae maquillaje para su disfraz, que todavía pueda poner su tapabocas porque todavía seguimos con el tapaboca, con la mascarilla. So cualquier disfraz que use necesita siempre traer su tapaboca o su mascarilla. Okay. I want to make sure I hit a couple of reminders. We sent emergency cards home. Please make sure that we have updated emergency cards. Unfortunately, as you know, we test every week. And sometimes we have some positive cases. We need to get a hold of you right away. And if we don't have your updated emergency cards, it makes it very difficult. So recordatorios, es muy importante de que tengamos las tarjetas de emergencia que mandamos, que estén lo más corriente posible en la oficina. Todas las semanas tomamos el examen de COVID y desafortunadamente hay veces que salen casos positivos y necesitamos comunicarnos con ustedes inmediatamente. Si no tenemos la tarjeta de emergencia, se nos hace muy difícil comunicarnos con ustedes. Again, it's for safety and security that we have your most updated information so that we can communicate with you. I am happy to say we haven't had any positive cases. We tested yesterday and we are good, but it's always really important to have that information. Es muy importante tener la información. Estoy ahorita muy feliz. No tenemos casos positivos. Tomamos examen ayer, pero de todas maneras es muy importante que tengamos la información para comunicarnos. I understand that every school has this issue and it keeps coming up. Double parking, bottlenecking when you're dropping your kids off or picking them up. Just let's be kind to each other. Let's remind everybody to be patient and that double parking is an issue. Again, we don't have school police. I talked to them about it, but we can call traffic enforcement. And if they do come out, they will hand out tickets. And then, you know, it's like, I can't win, right? If I call out and people get tickets, they get mad at me. And if I don't call out, and then they still get mad at me. So, but I think it's just important to give ourselves enough time so that we're not rushing And then to just be patient and kind with each other. I think kindness is really gonna get us through this really hard time we are going through. So un recordatorio, todas las escuelas tenemos problemas de que hay mucho tráfico cuando viene a dejar a su niño a recogerlo. So es muy importante de que tengamos paciencia con cada uno y, how do you say kind? Ser
Bondadosos, que sean
bondadosos con cada uno, darnos suficiente tiempo para que no estemos todos estresados de que vamos a llegar tarde. Que no tenemos policías suficientes pero podemos llamar a tráfico y pueden dar tickets a los padres y pues nunca ganamos, ¿verdad? Siempre hay alguien enojado, pero si seguimos siendo bondadosos, ojalá podamos sentirnos un poquito mejor de cada uno. And one other thing is there is a teacher shortage throughout the whole state. It seems like throughout the nation. So because of teacher shortage, I have to really look at my numbers. The state gives us a set of numbers that we have to have, how many students and how many teachers. And if we don't have enough teachers, we may have to displace a teacher so that they can go to another school that has more students. So with that said, I have to look at my numbers, and some of your students may be moved to another class. And it's unfortunate. It is a little stressful, but we have to look at those numbers because of the teacher shortages. So if your child is going to be affected, you will be getting a notification of when that will happen. So believe me, it's not something that I like to do, but I have to follow the law and make sure that we have the correct teachers for the number of students that we have in school. So debido a la que faltan maestros en el estado, y el estado nos da números diciendo, tú tienes tantos estudiantes, tantos maestros te tocan. Y si no tenemos suficientes estudiantes, un maestro tiene 1 o 2 maestros, dependiendo del número, tiene que ser desplazado a otra escuela. So ahorita tengo que ver a los números y arreglar las clases, y tal vez algunos de los estudiantes van a ser afectados. Quiere decir que pueden moverse a otra clase con otro maestro. No es algo que yo quiera hacer, pero es necesario porque tenemos esas reglas de la ley que dice que tenemos que tener cierto número, y ese maestro tal vez pueda ser desplazado a otra clase o a otra escuela. Pero yo les voy a mandar comunicación ya cuando tenga más información. So I will be communicating once I have more information.
And then just wanted to clarify that doesn't affect the magnet classrooms. And then Miss Linares, I believe.
Not yet, Miss
Not yet.
Montañez, but I will communicate any information that will be affecting.
And then Mr. Lowe wanted to interject when you're finished, some information.
Mr. Lowe, do you want to interject now or?
Sure, I can do it real quick. I just, first of all, want to introduce myself. If you don't know me, I'm Mr. Lowe. I'm the APEIS. So that means that I'm over special ed. If you have any questions or any concerns with special ed, it's my job to make sure that we have the best special ed here at Placencia. We're doing a DVR. It's only for special ed parents, but you'll be getting a survey where you can share your opinion and what's going on with the school. And there'll be a parent meeting as well. So look for that information. And again, I just wanted to introduce myself and say hi.
And I have Mr. Lowe, do you want me to post the link in the chat?
Yeah, that'd be great.
We need to translate that.
Oh, that was a lot. Sorry.
Él es el señor Lowe, es el subdirector de programas de estudios especiales, y quería informarles, pues claro, él está aquí ahora tiempo completo, qué bueno que está con nosotros, y Y pues claro, la meta es de tener el mejor programa de estudios especiales aquí en Plasencia. También nuestro programa de estudios especiales va a estar pasando por algo que se llama DDR, que es básicamente una evaluación de nuestros programas. Y entonces usted, si su niño tiene un IEP, va a recibir un cuestionario para informar acerca de esta evaluación. I think I said everything.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Miss Yulisa has a question on the DVR. I think.
Hi, now that he's on, would that also affect the special needs program, the teacher, where you guys take away teachers?
It might. It might.
Oh,
We are working with special ed to make sure that we do it according to the guidelines. So there might be, it might affect maybe who is teaching that class. But again, we're working with the administration for special education to make sure that we're doing it accordingly.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you. So sí, todas las clases pueden ser afectadas, pero digamos con los estudios especiales, estamos trabajando con el Departamento de Estudios Especiales para asegurarnos de que estamos haciendo todo acordadamente. Especially with special education, teachers have to have specific credentialing. So we need to make sure that we have the right person in the right class. So that's why there's a lot of moving pieces that have to be involved. So hay muchas piezas que tienen que estar involucradas antes de que podamos hacer cualquier movimiento. All right, so let's talk about school data and additional money. So we did get additional funding and we are trying to utilize it based on student needs. So cuando la escuela recibe fondos adicionales, siempre hacemos decisiones basado en necesidades de los estudiantes. So we are getting ready for report card season. So it's information for you to know about what kind of questions you should be asking your teachers. So siempre tenemos datos y nuestras decisiones son hechas usted debe saber. First of all, you should know that every child takes the DIBELS test at the beginning of the year. Todos los niños reciben el examen de DIBELS, excepto los estudiantes de estudios especiales, porque ellos están en otro currículo, pero los do have data to substantiate. And this is an indicator for early literacy skills. That means, is the child on track to being a fluent reader? So nos indica si el estudiante está en buen camino para ser para leer fluidamente. Did I say that correctly, Ms. Garcia? I hope she helped me with, did I freeze? I think I froze.
I think I was on mute. I was muted.
I was like, oh my gosh, did I freeze? Okay.
No. Yes, you said it correctly. Es para
Okay.
desarrollar su habilidad de fluidez en la lectura.
Okay, so very quick, every child gets a report. Cada niño recibe un reporte, and it will look similar to this, only that here we're looking at composites by grade level. Cada niño tiene un reporte casi así, solo que aquí estamos viendo todo junto por grado. So the red, it means they're very well below benchmark. Yellow means at below benchmark. Of course, we want to see our students at green and blue. So rojo quiere decir que está bastante bajo de la meta. Amarillo quiere decir que está bajo de la meta y pues claro, nos gustaría ver a todos los niños en verde y azul. Of course, in kindergarten, we should be seeing more red. That's definite because for most students, this is their first year in school. So we should be seeing a lot more red, but in the middle of the year, we should be seeing less. And by the end of the year, we should be seeing almost no red. I hope that makes sense. So, en kinder, claro que es el primer año que están en la escuela, so vamos a ver un poquito más rojo, pero a mediados del año tenemos que ver menos rojo y al final del año esperamos ver no rojo. So take a look at this and if, you know, feel free to make a comment on what you're noticing. Vamos a ver esto un ratito y vamos a ver qué es lo que están notando. Any noticings? This is our very first one. We take it 3 times a year. Es 3 veces al año. Al principio del año, en mediado del año, al fin de año. So we do this at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year. Any noticings on how we are starting? ¿Alguna notación de cómo estamos empezando? I can tell you that I'm noticing that it is what I expect to see. More red in kinder, a little less in first grade, a little less in second, little less in third, little less in fourth, but I'm looking at fifth grade. Oops. So what do you,
English
oh,
severe one.
I'm sorry, I went to the other screen, huh? There you go. Okay. I was trying to move the other
Yes.
tag out of the way for me. In fifth grade, I'm wondering what's going on with fifth grade. Pues estoy viendo que hay más rojo en hay un poquito más rojo. Any other noticing? ¿Algo otra cosa que están notando?
Sí, estaba notando que en cuarto grado hay bastantes a nivel. Como ustedes pueden ver, lo verde, un 58% de los estudiantes están en verde y un 14% en azul, lo cual implica que están a nivel apropiado de lectura, de fluidez en la lectura.
No quiere decir que está a grado, quiere decir que va en buen trayecto. Okay? Porque las normas de grado son un poquito más altas. So it doesn't mean that they are grade level if they're blue and green, but it means that they are on track because the standards for reading are definitely higher in 4th and 5th grade, but that means that they're on track. So your child's teacher can provide you with a report that would look like this for your child. So you can see, you know, is my child reading fluently or are they having trouble with hearing certain sounds? How are they on track to being fluent readers? So el maestro de su niño le puede dar un reporte a usted con algo similar que le puede dar en colores para que usted tenga una idea de que si su niño está en buen camino para ser un lector fluente o tal vez necesita ayuda, porque si su niño salió rojo en todo, necesita preguntar qué es lo que está haciendo el maestro para ayudarle y qué puede hacer usted en casa para ayudar.
And with that, Ms. Linares, I would like to add that our teachers have been meeting in grade level with their grade level teams to analyze this data, and they have been focusing on planning the lessons according to the data to help students improve in the different areas of reading. Nos hemos reunido mucho con los maestros se reúnen por grado y ahorita están trabajando en eso y Ms. Linares va a explicar un poquito más de ese proceso.
So, yes, so in order to support your child and the teachers, we are engaging in what we call the cycle of continuous improvement. So as you can see on from September 27 to October 1st, we administered the test and then we started looking at the data just like I showed you, but we go deeper into it. And then we start looking at what is it that the children need so that they can make improvement. And now we're going to start doing what we call small groups. So we're putting students in small groups to see what it is that they need, and we're going to give them what they need. And then we're going to give them small tests to see, is this working? And then we're going to meet again at the end of the month to see, are we making progress? So this is what's called cycle of continuous improvement. We're planning, we're doing, we're studying, and we're acting. We're saying, okay, this is working or it's not working. So todos los maestros están incluyendo en este que se llama plan, hacer, estudiar y hacer. So planeando, pues administramos el examen, y luego estamos viendo los datos, estamos poniendo los estudiantes en grupos para darle lo que necesitan, luego lo estamos dando la lección, luego estamos monitoreando, haciendo exámenes pequeños, luego vamos a estudiar si lo que estamos haciendo está funcionando y luego estamos actuando diciendo si está funcionando o no está funcionando y luego lo volvemos a hacer. Luego en enero, febrero, toman el examen otra vez y vamos a ver esos cambios otra vez. So in January, February, they will be taking the second DIBELS, and then we're going to see, did this cycle really help us? Ese también en febrero nos va a anunciar si es que este ciclo funcionó o no. So like tomorrow, first and third grade teachers are going to be engaging in looking at the data to make sure that we're providing our students the supports that they need. So mañana primero y tercero, los maestros de primero y tercero van a estar planeando para dar esta instrucción a los estudiantes y asegurando de que está funcionando o no. So that's the cycle of continuous improvement. Se llama ciclo de mejoramiento continuo. Translating on the spot. And very importantly, we need you, parents of English learners. We really need you to be part of our committee. We cannot make decisions without you. So we are going to have a fourth attempt to get more parents. So, padres de estudiantes, aprendice de inglés, los necesitamos que sean parte del concilio. We will work with you so you can be with us via Zoom. Porque necesitamos que participe porque no podemos hacer decisiones sin el concilio de ILAC. So vamos a tener otra junta que es nuestra cuarta vez que tratamos de tener todo el concilio. So that will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Yes. Okay, great. So mañana a las 4, ojalá que puedan acompañarnos. We will work with you again. Vamos a trabajar con ustedes para poder tener un concilio completo. We need to complete our ELAC.
And we can't spend our money if we don't have an ELAC. So help us spend our money.
No podemos gastar dinero si no tenemos un ELAC, por favor. And Yulisa, go ahead and ask your question. I see you.
Quick question. Can we be part of ELAC and the SSC
Yes, you
at the
can.
same time?
Mhm.
So I had a question. Tomorrow, I won't be able to attend because I have to be at work. Is there any way you could put my name to run so like that I get counted for?
We do have to have you in the Zoom session just because we need documentation that you're present. It is one of those things where you have to be present. It'll be on Zoom.
Oh, okay. So if I'm, okay, let's say that I were to be on the Zoom, but I won't be able to talk. Would that count?
That would be fine as long as you can utilize the chat.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. All right, so that was our slide presentation, but if there's any other comments, questions, anything that we need to improve, please let us know. I know Miss Montañez is out to recess duty. I'm gonna need help with recess duty, but I'm here for you. Estamos aquí para ayudarle a responder o si tiene algún comentario, cómo podemos mejorar. Este es nuestro tiempo. Thank you for joining us. Gracias por acompañarnos. Miss.
You're asking about teacher conferences, Ms. Linares. Will there be parent-teacher conferences scheduled this semester?
Yes, there will be. Their parent-teacher conferences will be held via Zoom, and our conference week is in November. I am looking, it's usually, yes, November 15th through November 19th, our conferences will be held. So las conferencias entre padre y maestro van a ser vía Zoom y van a ser la semana de noviembre 15 al 19. Yes, right before the Thanksgiving break. Antes de la vacación de Día de Acción de Gracias. Okay. Anything else? ¿Algo más? And they're calling me on the radio, but go ahead and see if you have any questions.
I think I have one question
Yes.
regarding the evaluation tests that are taking place. If I understand, every 3 months for the individual child and seeing their progress and if there's any progress been accomplished. So once you guys do these evaluations, and if you notice that the progress is not substantial or there hasn't been any progress, the teacher will take a different approach, right, and try different tactics in order for the child or student to learn. Is that correct? I'm sorry, I got in really late into the meeting, and that's what I.
Not a problem. Yes, I think you summarized it very well. So that's what it's like an experiment, but an educated experiment, because we have tools, right? As teachers, we have all these tools. And if we say, okay, this child's having trouble with ending sounds, so I'm really going to use 15 minutes a day to work on ending sounds, because that's part of reading. If I don't have those ending sounds, I'm not going to be a good reader eventually. So then I have to do those activities on ending sounds. I'm going to evaluate. If that's not working, I got to try something else. I got to go back and find a different tool, a different lesson, ask my friend, how can I support this group? So you are absolutely correct.
Great. Would there be any type of information besides independent search on the parents' behalf to try to look for tools online, anything that any type of resources and stuff that you guys or the individual teacher would be able to provide the parents to meet these challenges at home and support our kids? You know, is there
really
any material going to be distributed or anything like that besides whatever is being distributed on a day-to-day basis or weekly basis with our children?
One of the things that I can tell you that you can start is we're trying to press right now is something called Amplify Reading. The students have a login, and the Amplify Reading is a program like, remember those commercials of Hooked on Phonics? It's kind of like that, but it is designed to support the student at their level. So with Dibbles, when the assessment is done, Amplify provides those activities for the child to be on the computer at their level. So when I'm walking around and I see the kids on the computer, I'm like, are you on Amplify Reading? Are you doing that? So that it keeps track of their progress. And the teacher can see it. And as a parent, you can be monitoring as well. That's the best, because we don't want to bombard either. I highly recommend Amplify Reading.
And this is found on Play, on iStore, on the LSU Steve Plus fam. Where's that?
Go ahead.
Amplify Reading.
So Amplify Reading, that game is available through Schoology. Okay. So the first step, teachers will be showing your students how to access it, but the first step is to log into Schoology, click on the course where the teacher has the course set up, and then along the left side, let me see if I can show, let me just pull up my screen one moment. You're going to look for Amplify. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. Okay, so when you're on Schoology, the screen may look like this, and you're gonna look along this left-hand side for, it says amplify. So this is the button that you press amplify, and then it launches in a new screen. I'll share that screen, just a moment. Where'd it go?
Can I just add that the students have in their folders the Schoology, is the barcode? So they can use it on the tablet.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Not for everything.
They used to, but we really encourage students to really know their email, their password, so that
Yeah.
they can log in.
And
Yeah.
the reason why is because the apps do not go, they don't automatically connect if you're logging in with the QR code. It prohibits you from connecting to the external tools that are added into Schoology. So that's why they
Okay.
need their email and their password.
Okay.
So you'll click on that amplify button and then look for these 3 little creatures. They're called curiosos. And
Oh.
you click on this and it will start the game.
Okay.
And it's loading right now.
Perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for Celeste. Yes. Thank you so much. Pretty much you're hooked on phonics. Your phonics game or
But it's more tailored to your child. And that's why, you know, I'm not knocking whatever, but sometimes they're getting something that they're not ready for yet.
Right.
There might be doing words when they're not ready because they're on short vowels. So,
right.
So that's why Amplify Reading is so tailored and it's free. So that's the best thing that you can do for your child.
Thank you so much, ladies, and
No problem. Thank you.
thank you so much.
All right. Any other queries? This is great. I love talking data because it gets me all excited so I can see progress. It's really fun to see how our kids are growing. Any other questions? ¿Alguna pregunta? We're good. All right, going once, going twice. I'm like at the at the ELAC meetings, right? The SSC. Going 3 times. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I have to go to the yard now too. Perfect timing. Ahora me toca ir a cuidar a los estudiantes en la yarda. Así que muchas gracias. Thank you so much. And please remember that we are available via email. You can message us on Facebook, the website, phone calls. We are here to support you. So recuerde que nos puede mandar mensajes en Facebook, Schoology, correo electrónico o llamarnos. Estamos aquí para servirles. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your mucho.